I am going to try something again on my carnivore to-do list. I have the week off this week. It is Thanksgiving week, so I'm doing a lot of extra things like cooking projects. One of the things on my carnivore to-do list has been a carnivore chili. So for this carnivore chili, which is again, my carnivore to-do list is things that I want to do on carnivore, but that I've never done before. So I've never made carnivore chili. I'm gonna give it a shot today. I'm going to be using my Amazon Basics Dutch oven. I love this thing. Link below in the description. Super high quality, super great price. Right now this is the day before Thanksgiving. Yeah, they usually have Black Friday deals on these, so check it out. This is cast iron with an enamel coating. It's very versatile, and I'm going to use it today for my chili. I'm going to be putting lots of meat in this chili, as you might have guessed that it is a carnivore chili. So first of all, I'm going to be putting in, I'm not going to use all of this, I'm going to use about half of this. This is 2.25 pounds of ground beef, but I'm going to use half. This is 80-20. I'm going to use bacon. Not all of this either. This is about 3 pounds of bacon. I'm going to use about a pound of bacon. Put the rest away for another day. I am going to use 2 different kinds of sausage. So let me grab those. Okay, so this one is just like a original premium sausage. The ingredients are, even though this is the Great Value, the Walmart brand, and the ingredients do say pork, water, salt, spices, and sugar at the end, the carb count is 0. Whereas the name brand of the same thing also has sugar in the ingredients. The carb count is 2. So I went with this one. If you don't eat pork or you don't want that little bit of whatever might be in there, you're not sure about that, you can leave this out or substitute whatever meat, is going to work for you. This is another meat that I'm going to be using, and this is the Jenny O Chorizo fresh turkey sausage. Now this is also seasoned, so I will read you the ingredients. So there's turkey in here. The seasonings are paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. There is a little bit of sugar, paprika extract, citric acid, natural flavor, vinegar, rosemary. Okay, again, the carb count on this whole package, or not whole package, I should say, the one serving from this package is 0. If those ingredients bother you, don't use it. Use just a regular plain ground turkey, maybe an 85-15 or something like that you can find. I just thought that these 2 additions would add some flavor to this chili, because what I'm not going to be adding is anything like tomatoes or tomato paste. Again, if you're more ketovore or you can tolerate those things, feel free to add in some tomato paste. I've heard that makes this chili really great. Last meat that I'm going to be adding this is actually a chuck eye steak. I was going to buy some cube steak or some of like a tougher, kind of more stew meat kind of steak for this, but when I got my chuck eye steaks this week, this one in particular looked a little bit less fatty. I don't know if you can see that. They're usually really fatty. This one is a little less fatty, so I thought I'm going to cut this up into small cubes, and I'm going to use it for some different kind of texture in my carnivore chili. Now, I am going to be adding some further spices to this. Again, if you don't use spices, customize this to your taste. I'm going to be actually using a little bit of smoked paprika. What I would actually want to use is cumin, but my husband has started asking me to take the cumin out of things. I used to put cumin in the taco meat that I would make for him, the ground beef taco meat, and he asked me to stop doing that, and he liked it better without it. It didn't irritate his stomach. It was starting to irritate his stomach. So yeah, I either need to find an organic, cleaner cumin to use or whatever, but for now I'm no longer using it. So this is organic smoked paprika. I'm going to be using a little bit of garlic powder. I am going to be using dark chili powder. And it wouldn't be a recipe of mine without my Redmond's Fine Sea Salt. Again, if you don't like any of those, these are all interchangeable, super customizable. You could use chopped onion if you're ketovore, or onion powder if you do that. There's a lot of great things you could do to this recipe to make it your own. Now, for the base, for the liquid part of this recipe, this is, and I have a little mini one too, this is just what was left. Altogether though, it's probably about a quart of my homemade beef bone broth. You can see below, I will link my recipe for that. I never thought I would be the person making homemade bone broth, but if you have an Instant Pot, super easy. Plus, if you're gonna buy bone-in ribeye, which I do on a regular basis, you get a really good use for that, for those bones. So this is my homemade beef broth made from ribeye bones. Again, recipe linked below. Okay, so to get started on this, I'm going to chop up the two meats that need chopping up. So that is my bacon and that is my chuck eye steak. I'm gonna go cut those up now and then we'll keep going on this carnivore chili. As you can see here, a giant pile of meat is already forming. I've got my bacon all chopped up and this is my chuck eye steak. That was a little over half a pound, by the way, of chuck eye steak all cubed up. My next step is I have been heating, while I've been chopping, I've been heating up this Dutch oven and I'm going to put the bacon in now to get all nice and crispy. So here we go. I'm gonna bring you over here again, bring you over to the pot again. As you can see, this bacon is nice and crispy. What I'm gonna do now is take this bacon out of the pot. I did, so you know, put most of the bacon grease into my trusty bacon container over there with the bacon grease in there. Two reasons. One, my beef broth has a big fat cap on the top of there and that's all gonna go in. Also, the fat, rendered fat from the ground beef and the two kinds of sausage are going to stay in here. But I wanted to save that bacon grease for another use, namely another batch of the heart attack chicken. But I wanted to try it, frying it up in some lard this time, which is pork fat, so bacon grease in this case. I think that will be delicious. All right, I'm gonna go get this out of the pan and then we'll keep on going with this carnivore chili. Okay, the bacon has all been taken out of this pan. The flame is still on. I've got it on about 4. And the next step is gonna be to add in my two meats that are unseasoned. So that is my ground beef and my chuck eye steak that I've cubed up. As soon as that goes into the pan, I will add the seasonings to that and I will let you know how much of each seasoning I'm going to add. As soon as I've got that all seasoned up, then I will add the other two kinds of meat, which are my two kinds of sausage, mix that all together and get that meat all cooked up and delicious. Okay, that's what it looks like in the pan. Please excuse the fan noise. If I don't have that on, my smoke detector will definitely go off. I'm going to add a half a tablespoon of the chili powder. I'm going to also do a half a tablespoon of the garlic powder. And then I am going to do, if I can get it open here. I'm going to do a teaspoon of the smoked paprika. And a couple of things in here are salty already. The bacon is salty and the two sausages are salty. I'm gonna start with a teaspoon of the Redmond's salt. And again, at the end, you can always salt to taste, right? So yeah, I'm gonna start with a teaspoon. I'm gonna bring you guys over here. I turn that off for a second just so you can see what I'm doing. So all of the spices, seasonings are added in. And I just like to incorporate those into this meat that was unseasoned. So you can see the bacon back there, just waiting for its turn. To that, let me put you guys back down. Okay. All right, I put you guys back down. So this is the turkey chorizo sausage. And this is just the standard sausage roll of, like, you know, regular breakfast sausage. This one is stickier. That turkey chorizo came out easily and nicely. Smells so good. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands and then I will stir that up. Okay, hand washing accomplished. Okay, you guys, this is legit. There's like, I don't know, like almost 4 pounds of meat in there. Then I'm gonna add the bacon to that and the beef broth, full of protein. I don't count macros, but I know this gotta be full of protein. It smells really good. I'm just gonna let this stuff kind of cook together, and then I will add my last couple of ingredients and we'll give this a taste. Meat is now all the way cooked through. The other thing I've done is with my bone broth, I have warmed it up, because what happens with that stuff is it gets gelatinous. It's the good stuff. But once it's gelatinous like that, it will not pour out. So I've warmed it up so that I can pour it into here, and that's gonna be my last step. I'm gonna reincorporate the bacon, and I'm gonna put all that beef broth in there. I'm gonna put the lid on, and I'm gonna let that simmer for about 30 minutes. Then we're gonna come back and taste this. You guys, it smells good. I know it's gonna taste good. I'm gonna bring you over just to show what it looks like now that the meat is cooked through. And then after I put everything in, I'll bring you back over so you can see what it's gonna look like after the broth is in there. And then I will put the lid on and get this stuff to simmering. So that is what it looks like now. Okay, here's that bacon, and I'm gonna throw that back in. Okay, there we go. The nice thing is that this, the base of this chili is nice and red, even though I didn't put tomatoes in, and I think it's because of that smoked paprika. Also that dark chili powder. It's a dark chili powder. I think that probably has something to do with it. Oh, you can see this. Final peek before I put the lid on. I'm gonna let that come back up to temperature. Put the lid on, let it come up to temperature, then I'm gonna turn it down to a 2 and just let that simmer. All right, I'll see you back here in about 30 minutes, guys. Okay, my chili has been simmering. It is all kind of melded together. My husband even came out and said, "What is that? It smells delicious." He said, "You should make that for company." So yes, I think we're having some positive reviews here. We haven't even tasted it yet, but it is smelling good. It is looking good. I also want to point out that I have made one of my delicious carnivore muffins. Right now it's still in the Pyrex. I will post the link to the recipe below. This has the consistency of a cornbread muffin, but it is not, there's no corn in it. It does not actually taste like cornbread, but it has the consistency of cornbread. And oh my gosh, you guys, carnivore chili with some carnivore cornbread, what could be better? So what is in this is pork rinds, an egg, some butter, and a little bit of baking powder to make it rise. Again, recipe below, check it out. It's gonna be super delicious with my carnivore chili. So I'm gonna dish some of this up. And then I will show you the presentation. Not a cook or a chef, you guys, and then I will go ahead and give it a taste. Okay, you guys, here is my bowl of chili. I hope that you can see in there a good sized dollop of sour cream. I've got some bacon crumbles, and then I've got my muffin with a bunch of Kerrygold salted butter. Some people also make this recipe with a brick of cream cheese. I opted to go with the dollop of sour cream. Hey, you could do one, you could do the other, you could do both. Again, completely customizable, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this a taste. Kind of trying to get a little bit of everything, a little bit of sour cream, a little bit of the broth, bacon, meat. Let's give this a try. You guys, that is good. I think I put the right amount of chili powder. It has a spicy kick in the back. The only thing that would make it better is that cumin. But like I said, I had to leave that out. My husband's kind of developed a sensitivity to it. But for right now, I'm gonna go meet some wellness. One delicious carnivore bowl of chili with a carnivore muffin. at a time.